You're having a bit of a bad day. You've missed the tram to work, the new horse rug that you've put on ends up in the mud. And then when you go to put it on, the bugger bites you. That's okay, Grassroots is here to save the day. Stay with me and Anna Molzansky for the next half hour. One thing I know with almost certainty as we go to another episode of Grassroots is Anna Molzansky isn't going to bite me.
No, what a trifecta that is. I hate to have a day like that. But Sam, good to be with you and looking forward to this episode. Some really good, feel-good horse stories today.
That's what we're here for. We're here for horse stories. We love them, and please give us ideas if you've got one. But the Kids Foundation is something that we've promoted here on racing.com for a number of years, and we're very proud to be associated with them and all the work they do. And we caught up with Jess Cody, who's a big part of their team.
I grew up with thoroughbreds, so for me, I always thought that I wanted to train racehorses. My parents breed thoroughbreds and my mum trained, so since I was about 8 years old, I would train racehorses. And for me, when I watched a documentary when I was older about equine therapy, I became a teacher by that stage, and I was like, wow, this is what I want to do. What I was doing was working as a teacher and then school holidays working in the thoroughbred industry as much as I could, and kept trying to work out how I could both work with young people and support them to grow and horses, and then this equine therapy kind of merged the two skills. I loved growing up with my mum and how in tune she was with the thoroughbreds, and so I remember her selling one thoroughbred who'd been winning a lot of races, and she shared to the new owners, when you're on the track, just hum a song and he'll relax. So thoroughbreds are really in tune with their riders. Most people in the thoroughbred industry know that's why they're working with them, is because there's this sense of connection and a deep sense of belonging to each other that is created by being with animals. I got to go on their first camp last year and run equine therapy programs for the Kids Foundation. It really blew me away at how much support these kids are receiving, but how much they're growing and the community and the family that they've created with it. I love that a horse never judges. That for me, I feel I can be completely myself, and I feel that the horses give that sense of safety, a sense of feeling at home in their bodies around these horses, because some kids go through big traumas and often they look different, or there's this feeling of I don't have to be anything but myself around thoroughbreds and horses.
The Kids Foundation means to me an open space that you can feel like and be yourself, and you don't get judged or anything, because there's other people who have had traumas too, and you all can connect in some way. Kids Foundation has helped me because I love to do musical theatre and lots of singing, dancing and drama. And Kids Foundation has helped me. I've sung at a couple of their things, and they've just helped me and build me up to be like the person I am today. It makes me feel calm, and it makes me feel like connected with the horse, and I can do things that make the horse feel calm, and that makes me feel calm too. And just being able to put my trust into the horse, it's really special, because then I can trust more people too and just be myself around more people.
For us to work with horses, they can sense your heart rates from 10 metres away. So what I love is that they really want that people being authentic helps them to feel safe. And so when we draw on that, and it's about helping the horse feel safe, so helping them feel safe in your presence. But when people have this big, large animal that they just really connect with, they do all that they can. So they may have woken up grumpy, they may not feel confident in their own body, but when you put a large animal that animal depends on them for their safety, and that animal's instincts needs them, then all of a sudden these leadership skills emerge, and you see people walking taller, walking prouder, and just really stepping into owning, this is who I am and this is how I can be in the world. And everyone really starts to grow in their own agency, that there's power in that. Horses need us to be embodied, and when we're embodied, the horses really respond to that. And that, for me, is the connection of once kids learn that skill, they can take it anywhere in life. They might be in the supermarket and someone might stare at them, and instead of feeling down about themselves, they can go, I've got this. I know how to find that calm in myself that would keep a horse safe, but equally that helps me not dysregulate and continue with my day.
Come on, don't hold back. It'll be amazing. Don't get scared or anything. You'll meet amazing people and everyone will be really nice.
They truly are amazing animals, aren't they? We celebrate their speed and their strength on the racetrack, but they've got this whole other side that really helps support the healing, both mental and physically, for people out there who need that support. And the Kids Foundation do a terrific job, and they've got some great fundraisers as well.
They do. Their Tour of the Horse is really their biggest fundraiser of the year. They try and raise $500,000, which is an amazing amount. And having Dr. Susie O'Neill, who's the founder and CEO, here on this studio to talk about it, that goes a long way to helping their program. So keep an eye out on their website, kidsfoundation.org.au, and if you can donate, do so, because it's a fantastic charity and we're very happy here to support them. One name is that comes up in racing quite often is Lee Everson. This is a name that I'd been hearing for about 20 years, but this story is the first time I'd ever seen his face.
It's very quiet here, and we're in a little town called Longwarry, so it's only a small town, but definitely, as I said, a nice spot for access for any horse to get to us. I have a background in harness racing. That's how I sort of got involved with horses from a kid, and it's progressed from that over a long period of time to the thoroughbreds. We've got access to pretty much everything. Got a good track, swimming pool, water wader, and all the facilities I guess that you'd like to have. We're lucky in that aspect, and the horses all have their own paddocks. So yeah, they're pretty good lifestyle for them. We'd sort of do anything really. So it could be just in general soft tissue, or it could be ligament as well, but we just sort of seem to get a lot more of the tendon and ligaments than I guess are the two most common injuries, but we do all others. And we sort of try and start, I guess, with the feet and work their way up, and so that way when we do hand the horse back to the trainer, they've got a clean slate to work with, and the horse is as good as they can be, and they're nice and sound and that. But basically your Achilles, so yeah, it's similar treatment really from human to horse. There's not a lot of difference. So yeah, it's be your equivalent. We try and keep all their work weightless. We find that to be an important part of their rehab when they have had the injuries, no matter what it is, whether it's ligament, tendon, feet, or anything like that, or even soft tissue. We try and have them in that process of using the jogger to assist that, whether it's a jogger or a treadmill or in the water or something like that, but just try and keep the weight off their back. We just find that they heal a lot quicker. Most horses can trot quite well at 18, 20 kilometres an hour or so, and obviously they're sound as gait, so we try and make sure when we do exercise them and they're healing, we get them to trot only. And once they start to heal and heal well, then we introduce some sort of canter work to their system, and we get them all the way up to doing evens.
And we've got a special resident here that we're standing outside his paddock in Without a Fight. How's he going, Lee?
It's going well. He's started off fantastic with his rehab, and it settled down really quickly. Just went through a bit of a slow patch, but he's actually things are starting to pick up again, good for him. So one thing I've learnt is to be patient with these horses. You can't force the issue. They heal. They're healed when they heal, I guess, and we just got to make sure we keep the process as simple as we can and make sure he heals as naturally as he can and as well as he can. And as I said, his last scan was very encouraging. He's well and truly probably way over halfway, or probably more by now. So as I said, one thing I've learned is to be patient. when they do start to heal and heal well, the process can quicken up quite quickly. So as I said, right now he's in a good place. He's in very sound horse and he's a very happy horse. I think in my own case, I think we've only scratched the surface. I think there's sort of so much more you can offer and do for the horse. It's a challenge to make sure that you can get on top of all of them. Some of them are easy, some of them are hard, but I sort of find I'm enjoying that challenge a lot more than I ever thought I would. And sort of, as I said, when you watch them go to the races and they do well and win, and you feel you're a part of it, like as if you did own them or you did train them or something like that.
He's a terrific horseman, isn't he, Lee Everson? He's rehabilitated over 3,000 horses. Some of the big names have sent horses to him: Kieran Maher, OTI Racing, the Waller team. And it's not just Melbourne Cup winners that he's had in his care. He's had a whole spectrum of horses and even jumpers. Bash Boy went to him with 2 bowed tendons and he nursed him back, and Bash Boy then went out to be one of the best jumpers we've seen in this country. Won
over $1 million in stakes, I think, after he went to Lee Everson's. It's a fantastic story and it just proves how hard people will go to look after their horses and the depths that they'll go to get them back to the racing and living a healthy life. We're going to take a quick break here on Grassroots. Plenty more to come on the other side, a couple of emotional yarns as well.
Well, Taylor, Gademus is a very special horse for a number of reasons. One, she's the dam of Golden 60, the best in the world, but she's also your girl. You've spent a lot of time with her and it was emotional taking her through the ring. Take us through what's been happening in the last few minutes.
She's just been a great mare to work with. Like, she's just so sweet. And I mean, to work with a mare that's produced one of the best horses in the world is just, it's a great feeling. But even that aside, she's just amazing. Like, she's so beautiful. She's so sweet. You walk in, you give her a cuddle in the morning, and she'll sit her head in your chest, and it's just hard to say goodbye to most of them, but especially her. Like, she's been the queen of Element Hill for so many years now. So
it sounds like you knew her even before Golden 60 came along. How long have you worked with her?
I've been working with her for the past 7 years, so
These are the sorts of bonds, this is why you work with horses, isn't it? To build these sorts of bonds with horses.
Yeah, like, it's very hard to say goodbye to her. So.
Yeah. Does she know she's special? She's produced one of the best horses that we've ever seen. Does she know that she's one out of the box?
She definitely gets a bit of an opinion of herself, but not in a no. She's lovely. She's never gives you an ounce of trouble. Like, she's beautiful. Like.
We've seen yesterday her Wooden Basset filly went through, sold for $1 million. She's in foal to Home Affairs as well. Have you sort of built a bond with some of her other progeny that have come through?
Yeah. I've foaled down her last 2 foals along with Di, Mitch's wife, and the Wooden Basset filly. She was beautiful from day dot. Like, just in every way, physically, temperament. Like, she's just been beautiful to work with, and I hope that she's a superstar. Even if she's got a fraction of her brother's ability, it'll be great. So we'll all be following her. She's just an amazing mare.
You're emotional now. What's the farewell going to be like when she leaves here tonight?
Oh, she'll definitely be getting a lot of cuddles and kisses before we leave here this afternoon. So yeah.
I know it's an emotional story, but there's a great element to it about the bond that a groom can have with a horse. And for those that are lucky enough to be with a horse, we get to have this bond. And if you can't, go to Living Legends. Get your hand on a horse. That's always been my philosophy. Yeah,
great story there. And hasn't she been a great mare producing Golden 60, one of the best milers Hong Kong's seen with the 3 Hong Kong miles, and bred just outside of Bow Desert as well, and really putting Element Hill stud on the map. A story that definitely tugged the heartstrings there. And another one coming up as well, Matty Stewart. We know he's our colleague and he covers the southwest of the state, and of course homeland is Warrnambool. And this is a story about a race that's special to him and his family.
He's won the 3YV. Scotty Stewart Briley, he's a star.
Matt, I want to talk to you about the Briley Steeplechase. It's a special race for you. I just want you to explain why it is.
You got me there, Sammy. Yeah, obviously, my late brother, Scotty, who was, a bit of a local legend in his own right. Just a personality. He was born with some congenital heart disease, and and I think he had something like 40 operations throughout his life. Open heart surgeries from a young kid. He had so many battles, but it never stopped him from living his life. And he just, at 29 he had a heart transplant, and unfortunately didn't make it. So. I was only 23 at the time, so it was a tough time, but we're very lucky as a family that we can remember him each year, if you know what I mean. So it's my favourite race. I reckon the race is getting better and stronger each year. We were lucky enough, and it kind of come from nowhere, but we were lucky enough to win the Briley in 2013 with Catch Fun.
Drawing away Catch Fun, and he'll give it to Brad McLean today. Catch Fun won it by 3 lengths.
And I remember saying that night, like, I'll never ever top this. I reckon I could win a Melbourne Cup, and it wouldn't top winning that race. And we had just the best of the biggest couple of days ever, and was with some great mates, and it was just great times, and they're memories that'll be here forever, and my brother's memories will be forever too, if you know what I mean. It's fantastic, and look, there's only me and Mum now, so we're very lucky, as I said, that we can remember him, and all of Scotty's friends and people that knew him can remember him too, which I think is awesome. So we're the lucky ones, if you know what I mean.
His persona on camera and off is very gregarious, and he's larger than life, Matty Stewart, but he does have a serious side to him as well, and I thank him for giving us the opportunity to chat about that, because the Briley is such an important race down at the May Carnival, and I wanted to know the reasons why his brother's name was attached to it.
And I didn't know that story, so I'm glad you did get that from Matty and were able to share it with everyone. As we go to a break, we're going to take a look and remember a horse that sadly was lost too soon. I'm Thunderstruck, and how he's being remembered by Michael Kent Jr. and his family.
Probably one of the saddest days of our life. March last year, when we got that awful phone call from Mick to say that Thunder had passed away after having a basic routine surgery. I was in the midst of building the barn here, had earth movers here, and I thought, well, we're not going to bury this horse anywhere. He's got to come to our place, and they're really good. I couldn't be here to watch that, but we buried him, and then we designed a garden with Fleming's nursery around Thunder. So we got a beautiful ginkgo tree that goes bright yellow. We've designed the colours of Thunder, yellow and white. So yellow roses, yellow and white flowers, lots of green, and it's as you can see, it's in its infancy, but we're going to have all the owners out here eventually when it's all fully done. But there's something special, and we want to do something nice for him. For OTI, like, how big are they? And for Terry to say it's the best horse he's ever raced, and certainly the best horse I've ever been involved with, and just what he was, like his courage and his honesty. He didn't deserve that. He deserved to be. We would have had him here to retire, and just his favourite pastime was munching grass, and that's what he should have done for the rest of his life.
Fantastic, because it was such a big part of my history, and to come back and see how it's developed since I was here is absolutely amazing. so good to be back. It has the changes in temperature like it had in those days. The great thing about it is where you can put the horses and what you can do to make them really happy, and I think that's the key to any horse is keep them at the happiest and they'll do their best. So we've got the best of both worlds, and that's the thing, you can go to where your horse would be best suited.
Down the outside is Ethereal starting to close. Give the slip with Ethereal coming home. Give the slip in front. Ethereal's coming hard. The Caulfield Cup winners grab the lead, and Ethereal does the double. Ethereal's won it from Give the Slip.
The mare from New Zealand, trained by Sheila Laxon, the first lady to win a Melbourne Cup.
When I won the Melbourne Cup, I had no idea how everybody knows who you are. Got into the shopping mall looking pretty scruffy. Everywhere I went, I was recognised and wanted photos and signatures and things. So in the end, you actually dress a bit better when you go out. The first time I ever met John Simons, I arrived here, as I say, about 10 o'clock at night, and Ethereal's escaped out of the box to finish up the door. And he's just sat inside and watched television. I tell you what, if looks could kill, when I walked in the door, I thought, oh, he's not very happy. So that was my first memory of John Simons. Oh, it's fantastic. It's good to come back here and feed off each other and do what I hope is best for the horses to get the best of their ability out. Well, after Knight's Choice won the Women's Guineas, I mean, he's always a contender, that is a possibility. I think he could, because he's so relaxed, I think he could see the 3200 out. Yeah, Knight's Choice has always had the ability to relax so well in his races, and then got a phenomenal sprint. I mean, to actually get horses in the Melbourne Cup, as you well know, is a real feat. If we can get there, it would be just magic. Surreal, you know, and John's pinching himself. He still can't believe it. He keeps going around saying, "We won the Melbourne Cup. We won the Melbourne Cup."
Knight's Choice warp speed. They hit the line. It's a photo finish.
I was actually watching on my own on the step, and I just saw him come past me exactly the same place where Ethereal came past me. I just knew he was going to win because he had that incredible sprint finish. He just held on. So it was just awesome day, and to have my children there and my grandchildren. And John to be so stoked and so walking on cloud nine, he couldn't believe what had happened.
Oh, look, it's just been like a whirlwind, you know. It's been exceptional. The highs have just been unbelievable, and you know, you guys, the media, have been fantastic. So you know, yeah, it's a great experience. You know, it's got to be one of the highlights. You know, any Group 1 race, but to win the pinnacle of the race in Australia and maybe the world, and when it comes to a handicap 2-mile race, like what you can't explain that, you know. And to be able to do it, and for Sheila to be able to have done it 2 from 2, it's just fantastic.
Coming from being a rank outsider to winning the race like he did, you know, that's going to be one of the stories of the Melbourne Cup, is that you don't have to be a favourite, you don't have to be from Europe, you don't have to be costing 2.2 million or whatever. You know, you can be an $85,000 yearling and win the Melbourne Cup for, you know, true blue Aussies. And it's great just to enjoy the moment and just let it sink in and just be with a crowd that was so thrilled for us. And go the Australians, you know, that was the most important thing, that the Australians kept the cup.
The utilisation of the cup has been great for the sport, hasn't it? But it's stories like that give us all a little bit of hope that we might be able to one day get our hands on that trophy.
Vow and Declare was passed in for $45,000. You know, he was $85,000. There is hope for all of us. You just don't have to buy sprinters, although he's by Extreme Choice. But every year the Melbourne Cup throws up another story, and I think we could easily have another movie made about Sheila Laxon training 2 Melbourne Cup winners from 2 horses.
What a strike rate, isn't it? Amazing, and yeah, a great story of 2024 Knight's Choice winning the Melbourne Cup. Well, that's the end of another episode of Grassroots. Hopefully you've enjoyed the show. Look forward to seeing you next time.
He's a beautiful horse and he is lovely and relaxed. It's a great sign.